Welcome to globaletraining.com. Globaletraining.com offers online courses covering various software technologies. New courses are added on a regular basis. You can email us at training@globaletraining.com, or you can call us at 732-588-6564. Hello everyone, welcome to the UFT training videos. In this video we will look at what UFT actually does when we actually record on applications. So we know that it does generate a script or the VB script that we already know, but is there anything else it does? And that is what we will try to understand. So let me go ahead and make some quick changes. I'll just move things around here and make sure it is okay. Our record and run settings are set properly, so I'll have the application ready for us to start recording. And I'll also make open another thing called object repository. Okay, I have this open. I'll keep this application here. I'll keep this section object repository here, and okay, I have the action script window open. I have the application open here. I have object repository open here, and all I did was the resources object repository. That's the very first one. Now I'll start recording. And this is our recording toolbar. You'll see events incrementing here. So I am going to log in. So I entered the test as a user ID and entered the password. In the meantime, it recorded 2 steps here on the left hand side. And on the object repository, it was blank before. It does record everything. I left this password field, that's why it recorded the password. So within the object repository, you can see the agent name and password. And now when I click the OK button here on the login screen, you should see a line here being inserted, the VB script that's equivalent to clicking OK button. And within the object repository, since I'm clicking this OK button, that itself is an object within the login screen, so it would add a OK button here as well. So I'm going to click OK. See, I'm going to move this here. As you can see, line 4 shows you that it's on the dialog box is the screen, .win button is the button. Okay, so and it says .click. That means I actually clicked the login button based on the script here. And because the object repository did not have any idea of that button, it went and added that to the object repository. So here, as you can see, these are the test objects. Login, that's the screen, and then you have, because we just opened the flight reservation, you have flight reservation. There's nothing inside the flight reservation. And look at what happens when I click, say for example, I'm going to use I'm going to key in a date here. So 12/01/14. I'm going to tab out, and as soon as I did that, that means I entered something within this object and left that object, and it started recording that in the VB script or the script area for UFT, and it actually added that object within the object repository. So when you record something within UFT, it generates the script for you. That's one thing. And the second thing that happens in the background is that as you work with your application, click on bunch of objects within your application, it starts recognizing those objects based on the information that is available, and it will save them into the object repository. So let me go ahead and work with this application to finish the reservation, and I want you all to watch what happens here on the object repository and the script as well. Into this, I'll pick Los Angeles. I'm going to enter something here, tab out, so the name, the SQL there, and click this flight button, okay, and click OK. So that's a table that came up here as flight tables, and I picked OK, so it picked it up. And then I'm gonna key in. This time, look at it, I already entered something in the name field, but it got cleared. But I already entered something in there. So this time I'm going to enter global, and that name is nothing but here, this is the one, but it's already in there. So when I tab out, so line 15 was added for this, and also if you look at line 10, you have test, that is what I added, but it got cleared and I added it again. That means whatever I do, if I repeat something within the recording process, every step gets recorded. But when it comes to object repository, it records that object into the object repository the first time. Next time when you work with the same object, it doesn't need it because it already has the knowledge about the object. It's already within the object repository, so it will just ignore it because it already has the information. Click the insert button, so it inserted the insert button information into the object repository as well, and you can see the click line number 17, and the recording is done. I mean to say the reservation is done. So again, just to recap, so when you record using UFT, in addition to generating the script for you, it actually creates an object repository for you. So every action not only has this recorded script, every action has its own object repository which is local to that action. So every action by default has its own action. So if we were to create another action, do the same thing within the same script, it will still start creating objects. And let me show that for you. This is action 1. I'm going to stop it, and I am going to create another action, call it new action new. And here, so as you look at it here, as I switch to this action, the whole thing changed. The whole objects are blank. Let me go to the action 1. See, we have all the actions here. If we go to action 2, so every action has its own object repository, and it is referred to as a local object repository. So now if I start recording here within this action 2, and if I try to let's say I'll try to change the date here, change the city, you can see there at the top object repository, it's adding objects into it. But you probably might have already noticed this particular action does not have a login screen. So if we go to action 1, I have login and flight reservation screens, and if I go to action 2, all I have is flight reservation. These are called test objects. So they, you could have called it application objects or Windows objects. I mean, it's just because it's a testing applications, you're testing with the application, we're testing the application, so they just call it test objects. So that's the thing about what UFT does when we record. I hope you all enjoy this video. This is one of the most important concepts. You might want to rewind and watch again. I will see you in the next video.